Hello everyone, my name is Dhruvi and I'm going to talk about an IDE that is Integrated Development Environment and its features. I will discuss specifically an Eclipse IDE for Java development. The development of any software application requires numerous tools throughout code creation, build-in, and testing. An IDE is a software application that typically consists of code editor, a compiler or an interpreter, and a debugger as shown in the figure, which is then merged together and accessed using a standalone graphical user interface. It brings many development-related tools together as a single framework. One of the key purposes behind using an IDE is to improve developer productivity. IDEs boost productivity by reducing setup time, increasing the speed of development tasks, keeping developers up to date, and standardizing the development process. Java is one of the most popular and powerful programming languages. In order to create any large-scale Java application, we need an IDE that provides all the essential tools such as text editors, debuggers, compilers, and a testing environment. While there are many IDEs available in the market, the most popular ones are Eclipse, IntelliJ, MyEclipse, and NetBeans. We will discuss each of them briefly. Eclipse is an open source IDE which is written mostly in Java. However, its plugin architecture allows it to be extended in other languages. Eclipse maintains its popularity in Java development due to its extensible plugin system, using which we can customize the environment. Moreover, it is based on the core foundations of Java, and therefore it is compatible with many languages like C++, Python, PHP, and many others. Similar to Eclipse, IntelliJ is one of the most popular and powerful IDE for Java. It was developed by JetBrains. I personally haven't had any encounter with IntelliJ. However, it is claimed to be much more user-friendly than Eclipse. Moreover, it is loaded with rich features and functionalities. According to Wikipedia, MyEclipse is a commercially available Java IDE created and maintained by the company GNUtech, a founding member of the Eclipse Foundation. It is not open source like Eclipse. And finally, NetBeans. It is also an open source IDE, which is much more user-friendly as it does not require plugins for development. Moreover, it is also easier to learn than Eclipse. NetBeans is claimed to be much more stable with updates and less susceptible to bugs. So, as we can see in this pie chart, due to its critical and comprehensive tools, IntelliJ seems to be gaining the momentum than Eclipse. According to the recent survey, IntelliJ market share has increased 46% in 2012 from 28% in 2012. Let's try a little exercise. If I were to give you 5 seconds to think, which among these features do you think an IDE offers? Okay, 5 seconds starting now. So, I'm sure everyone figured this out. As we can see, an IDE offers us numerous features, including automated code completion, code generation, code coloring, refactoring, and debugging tools. However, it does not check whether the variable or method names are meaningful or not, and nor does it fixes the bad code by itself. Additionally, it is not even ideal for beginner programmers, since IDEs are complicated tools, and it requires time and patience to get comfortable using it. Alright, we are going to talk about Eclipse IDE for Java development and discuss its features into more details. The major visible parts of an Eclipse window are views, editors, and toolbar. As we can see in the diagram, the text editor area is used to edit the project data, and views are used to view the project metadata. For example, the Resource Navigator view shows the Java files in the project. One of the great features of Eclipse is its built-in spell checking engine. It scans the source code in the background and offers to correct it. As we can see in the figure, Eclipse catches the typo that it is public with a non-capital P. But not only that, Eclipse also suggests the fixes for the error. For example, it catches the typing mistake in the figure and suggests that it should be println instead of println. Eclipse's code completion feature looks like this. It constantly helps fill in the class or method names, which ultimately saves us a lot of time, typing all the words manually, and it even catches the bugs before they happen, when something you needed is not accessible from the context you're in. Martin Fowler defines refactoring as the process of changing software system in such a way that it does not alter the external behavior of the code, yet it improves its internal structure. What does that mean? Let's look at an example. One of the techniques to refactor the code is red-green refactoring. In a test-driven development, the first step starts at red, with writing the tests that are failing. The next step is green, where we write enough code so that all the red tests passes and becomes green. Finally, the last step is to refactor the working code to improve the design, structure, and implementation of the software. One thing to keep in mind though with this technique is that before refactoring, it is advisable to have a solid suite of tests to make sure that the refactoring did not actually break the code. There are various actions we can perform in refactoring the code. As listed in the diagram, the major ones are renaming, extracting, inlining, pushing down and pulling up, moving, and changing a method signature. Let's discuss each of them. Renaming the variables and method names is performed by selecting the element, right-clicking, and clicking Refactoring and Rename option. It finds all the usage of that element in that file and replaces them all with the specified name. Similarly, we can also rename the classes, interfaces, and packages. So the next one is extraction. Extracting the code means selecting a piece of code and moving it. Eclipse provides a variety of ways to achieve extractions. On the left, in the car class, suppose we want to extract out the driver details to a different class. We can follow the same method by selecting an element and choosing Refactor and Extract class. It will allow us to choose the fields we want to move. Once selected, the final code after refactoring looks like the figure on the right. Notice how methods getDriverName and getDriverLicense automatically included the new class name in front of them. Similarly, we can also extract an interface by selecting the necessary methods. Moreover, we can also extract items to a superclass by choosing Refactor and Extract Superclass option. Suppose we had an employee class and we wanted to extract all the non-employment related properties to a person superclass. This is where we would use an extract superclass refactoring. As shown in the figure, if we want to move this for loop inside a method to keep our code clean and easy to maintain, we could use refactor and extract method option. After refactoring, this is what our code looks like. Eclipse moved the selected code into a new method. To make the code more readable, we can extract certain items as local variables and constants. For example, in the figure, we can extract 3.14 as a constant and name it as pi. A local variable used just once should be inlined. Consider the result local variable in the code on the left. It is used just once in an if condition. Inlining gets rid of the function calling overhead and the push-pop overhead on the stack. If we have a parent-child relationship, for example, employee and a person class, and we want to move certain variables and methods between them, we can use the push-pull option. As we can see in the diagram on the left, if we want to move the fields from parent to the child class, we push them down. On the contrary, we pull the fields up to move them from child to parent class. Eclipse provides effective debugging tools. It visualizes step-by-step execution and helps us uncover the bugs. We can see the value of the variables during the execution under Variables view. When we want to debug only for specific conditions, we can add conditions to a breakpoint. As shown in the diagram, when the number is equal to 10, only then will it suspend the execution. As discussed earlier, IDEs are complicated tools, and they might seem intimidating to the beginner programmers. Additionally, Eclipse's setup is long and non-intuitive. So, that's it for today, and thank you for listening.